And of course, child obesity still a very big issue, and that's one of the reasons that dietitians are saying there's a few big things to look out for. One in particular that we've laid out on this plate. Natalie Greco joins us this morning. Thank you so much for joining us again. So what is it? This is the example of what you were saying, too much of a good thing.
Right, exactly. So we have two different examples here. This example, it's not that any one item on the plate is unhealthy in any way. It's just that it's all almost one food group. And you'll notice if you look at the plate, it's all one color. And what we really want to see is a variety of colors. So if we go to the next plate over, you're going to notice we have a mix of food groups, whereas this is mostly grains. This plate here, we have a dairy, we have fruits, vegetables, protein, and that's really what you want to see. And it's really a mix of the food groups that are going to keep kids full until the afternoon.
Yep.
And one thing I should point out, I did just for a tip here, if you're trying to get your kids to do a little bit more whole grain, mixing a white bread with a whole grain bread on a sandwich can be a good way to try and get them to transition.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we were talking about is that starches, while they're not necessarily unhealthy, they're very easy to load up on. What other tips do you have just for parents in terms of battling childhood obesity that still is a big issue nowadays?
I would say portion control, limiting the amount of items going into the lunch. That'll reduce the waste or the amount of food coming back to you, but it's also good for the kids to get used to. The packed lunch is a good way to demonstrate portion control. They'll really get a good idea of what our portion's supposed to look like, and then, as they get older, they'll be able to model that.
Natalie, thank you so much. Coming up at 6:30, we're going to talk about these bins, show you how you can actually use these as a teaching tool when it comes to your kids' nutrition. Live in Lancaster, Rachel Elzaphan, 7 Eyewitness News. We'll be right back after the break.